Okay, cool. All right, we're good to go.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to be here on this beautiful October morning to celebrate National School Bus Safety Week. We know that what we're here to talk about really is education, because when we think about the school buses across the state of South Carolina, over half of our traditional public school students ride a school bus to school every single day. And so when we think about the hope and opportunity that a great education provides, our students only have that hope and opportunity, half of them, because they have access to that school through one of our beautiful school buses. There are some really amazing statistics that are involved in our transportation system here. We have over 5,200 buses that get those 370,000 students to school every single day. 21,000 routes run every day, 77 million miles in a year. And the amazing thing is that since 2015, we have cut the average age of our school buses by half. We're here to talk about bus safety this week, and I'm so grateful for the hard work of our Office of Transportation here at the department, for the work that they do every single day to maintain those buses, to help us purchase the new buses. And of course, that would not be possible without the strong partnership of the General Assembly. Since 2015, South Carolina has invested $475 million in new school buses. Y'all will remember about a decade ago, we were having what I think was euphemistically called thermal incidents. We called them bus fires for the common man. And thankfully, our General Assembly stepped up to the plate. Superintendent Spearman worked with them, and we have been on a great trajectory ever since to ensure that we are on a strong 15-year replacement cycle that the law requires to ensure our buses are safe and modern for our students. I'm also so deeply, deeply grateful for the partnership that we have with the Highway Patrol, with law enforcement all across this state. When I think about the needs of our teachers and students, the first among them is safety. If our teachers and our students aren't safe at school or while being transported to school, nothing else matters. And so these partnerships are incredibly, incredibly important, and I'm very, very grateful for the commitment that is represented by the folks standing behind me today, folks who work in our bus shops, folks who work here at the department, and folks who are out every day patrolling our highways and byways, keeping us safe. As I think about the investment that South Carolina has made in our school buses over the last few years, I think about the practicality of it. I remember about a year ago, we had an incident here in Lexington County, I believe, where a school bus was T-boned by a tanker truck. And thankfully, those children were in one of our new buses and were able to walk away with only minor injuries. And again, that's what we're here to do every day, is to ensure that those students who are being transported to their school, their parents' greatest treasure, those students, are being transported safely and securely. And so again, I just want to say thank you to all the people who are here today. And with that, I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Mike Bullman, who is the director of our Office of Transportation here. Mike has a pretty amazing story himself as he walks up to the podium here. He has done pretty much every job within our transportation system here in South Carolina that there is to do, starting as an apprentice and a technician and driver back in high school, and now all the way to running the entire fleet for the state of South Carolina. It couldn't be in better hands. Mike?
Thank you, Superintendent Weaver. Again, good morning, everyone. As Superintendent Weaver's already alluded to, again, this is about the kickoff for School Bus Safety Week. And part of that is certainly the equipment, and again, we want to thank the General Assembly for their investment, as the superintendent has already mentioned. We couldn't be here and be in the situation that we're in without their support and commitment to school bus safety. But again, I want to thank this team behind us. I want to start again with, you see all the troopers that are surrounding us here, the partnership with DPS, again, is a over 4-decade partnership. And that in itself is a model that a lot of the states in this country are really looking at, modeling and really implementing themselves. Again, we've got the maintenance staff here, we've got some drivers, we've got some district staff. And again, it really takes a unified effort from everyone to ensure the safety of students. And so again, I just ask you out there as you see the buses every day to just really pay especially close attention to the bus stops, to the warning lights, to all those things as the bus is making its daily routes to and from school. And so again, I just want to thank you. I want to thank everyone's commitment to safety, to school bus safety, and just remember, education begins with a bus ride. And as the superintendent has already said, 370,000 students a day rely on a school bus to get to and from school. So again, thank you. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Sergeant Matt Southern with the South Carolina Highway Patrol.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bullman, and good morning. I'm Sergeant Matt Southern, and I am the School Bus Safety Coordinator with the South Carolina Highway Patrol. You know, this partnership that we have with the Department of Education, as Mr. Bullman stated, goes back 40 years. And I'm proud to stand alongside the folks here at the Department of Education. And a special thank you to Superintendent Weaver for hosting us here today. You know, as troopers, we strive every day to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe on our roadways. And that includes those 370,000 kids who ride on our school bus. I want to take a moment to thank the bus drivers that are here with us, our maintenance technicians, our driver trainers, and all those that are involved in school bus transportation, as well as my fellow law enforcement officers. We can't do this alone. As you can see, it's a team effort, but there's another member of that team, and that includes those folks that travel the roadways and share the roadways with our buses every day. You have a very important job as a motorist, and that job and obligation is to drive safely, particularly when you see a school bus during the loading and unloading process. Loading and unloading is the most dangerous time for a child around a school bus for two reasons. The first may be that the student may enter into one of the 4 danger zones around the school bus. That's directly in front of the bus, directly behind the bus, and on either side of the bus. These are all areas where it's hard for a driver to see a student. So we ask parents to talk to their child about staying about 10 feet away from the school bus, never crossing the street behind the school bus, and always crossing the street in front of the school bus should they have to. The other reason that danger exists is because motorists may not stop for the stop lights and the stop sign or the stop arm on the school bus. We consistently see motorists who fail to stop, which puts children at risk. Just last school year, there were 3,793 reports of people not stopping for a school bus. These are just the reports that we received. There are some that were never reported. We want to remind you that passing a stopped school bus is not only dangerous, but it's illegal and it places children at risk. And you also can face a fine of $1,000 and 6 points against your driver's license. So remember, if the lights are flashing, don't be passing. While we take this time to recognize National School Bus Safety Week, it's important to remember school bus safety is a year-long thing. We're recognizing it this week, but it's something that needs to happen every single day. So thank you again to our partners who keep our children safe day in and day out. And thank you to everyone who was here today to help us recognize School Bus Safety Week. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Safety really does start with each of us as motorists. So I want to, again, thank you and all of our patrolmen who are here today for the commitment that you all have to ensuring the safety of our students on the road. With that, we'll open it up to on-topic questions. Any questions from the media?
Superintendent, the sergeant mentioned the number of students that are on buses every day, which is over half of the student population in South Carolina. Can you just talk about, just again, reiterating the importance of the fact that South Carolina students, school buses are the way that they are getting transported to and from school, just reiterating the importance of motorists paying attention to detail, parents when they're walking their children to bus stops in the mornings and in the evenings or in the afternoons, just keeping in mind of paying attention to the bus driver themselves.
Absolutely. Well, keeping an eye on the school bus is absolutely critical when you are a motorist. We all know that, as the sergeant reminded us, there are very stiff penalties for drivers who are not obeying the very clearly outlined protocols and procedures that help keep our students safe. We know that parents are trusting us with their children every single day. Half of the students in South Carolina are traveling to and from their education opportunity on these school buses. And so it is absolutely essential that each of us as motorists pay attention to what we are doing, obey the traffic laws surrounding school buses, and work together to ensure that our students are transported safely to and from school every single day. Any other questions?
One more for Mike. You kind of touched on it a little bit. Just the enhancements that have been made over the years and how far the state has come. Superintendent Weaver touched on that in her comments. Can you just talk about just the improvements that have been made in the bus fleet, even just from 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah, some of the things, some of the more important things, and there's lots of them, and we do have a new bus sitting over here, by the way, that has every new safety feature that we could have on one for those of you that would like to take a look at it. Some of the more important ones are seating. Seating, there's been several really evolutions over the last 10 years with seatings. A couple of them, the seat backs are now higher. They're more padded. They're more, again, designed with structural integrity that can absorb energy and those kinds of things. We've added fully illuminated stop arms. We've added a second stop arm. We've added fully illuminated front and rear headers, which are the school bus signs up at the top. We've added LED headlights. We've added disc brakes to reduce stopping distance. Just a lot of features on a new bus.
With those new buses, how did that roll out? Which districts were able to see those buses yet? Or do you still have school districts that are indeed buses?
Well, we make it a point to really make sure that all the districts in the state have the same average age, and that there's equity across the board with that. So again, all of the districts will see these buses as they continue to roll out. And again, that is an ongoing process. We currently have about 130 or 40 in the pipeline, and getting ready to purchase some more.
And I think to reiterate what Mike has already said too, we're very grateful for the partnership of the General Assembly. That investment that they have made allows us to maintain that 15-year replacement cycle across the board for all of our school buses, and South Carolina is currently within that 15-year replacement cycle, which is a huge leap from where we were 10 years ago. If there are no other questions, maybe we would invite our camera folks to come over, and would you mind demonstrating some of those safety features you were just talking about?
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.